Welcome back to our channel, the channel for the history and untold stories about the royal family. Today we will talk about royal secrets. What's inside King Charles's red box? For generations, British monarchs and thrones have inherited an enigmatic red box. So, what mysteries might they contain? Secret information from British spy services, British public officials, as well as Commonwealth nations are overflowing from the royal boxes. Somewhere the king or queen is residing, correspondence is forwarded to them by using the Secret Secretary's department in a secure red dispatch box. But what really is inside them though? The following are the red box's 7 plot twists. During the Victorian period, as according to mass surveillance and indeed the Crown, a single of the red box's dispatches during Queen Victoria's era, 1837 to 1901, highlighted Russian military plans that would have originated from a clinical standpoint through the Duke of Wellington. The private message and Queen came to the conclusion that perhaps the material was doubtful towards being accurate since they were unable to confirm it. But somehow, the momentous conversation showed that the red box of evidence predates the establishment of Britain's exclusive MI6 spy agency in 1909. The dispatch box's history may be followed back to Queen Elizabeth I, 1558 to 1603 reign, when a telegraph was a critical letter addressed to the monarch. During Queen Victoria, the present red velvet and wooden boxes used only by royalty, and thus the administration to transmit official papers were first adopted inside the 1840s and 1850s. 2. A fascinating past. The boxes are red. Why? It is reported that Prince Albert, the consort of Queen Victoria, favoured the colour red since it appeared on the Saxe-Coburg-Gotha badge of honour for his dynasty. Everyone else, notwithstanding, contend that such hue was inspired by happenings mostly in the late 16th century, because one Francis Throckmorton, a major suspect in the 1583 Throckmorton plot to depose Queen Elizabeth I in favour of Mary, Queen of Scots, gave a red set of car keys, black pies to Spanish diplomat Bernardino de Mendoza. Per the Barrow, Hepburn and Gale, a member of the authorised box manufacturers, and also with Wickwar & Co. It must have been viewed as a written endorsement from the Queen, and thus the colour red would become the recognised colour of the kingdom. 3. Protection and espionage. The Royal Substitution cipher, the current national monarch's emblem, is stamped in golden ink upon the red boxes. Every receiver opens the encrypted padlock with or without an approved key, each of which has a unique identifier to help with authentication and regulate the information. They are made to endure. Every single day during Queen Elizabeth II's 70-year reign, such as weekends, she obtained red boxes, Christmas Day excluded. The British monarchy said as much in 2015 that she has continued to use the crimson boxes created during her 1953 coronation generations later. 4. Controversy at the top. King Edward VIII, 1894 to 1972, who resigned in 1936 to wed American divorcee Wallis Simpson, left red box documents, a disorganized line of declassified documents, cabinet files and international telegrams dispersed throughout his private estate, Fort Belvedere. Especially requested to leave red boxes at Buckingham Palace on his journey back into London had been in American companies. Per Michael Thornton's Royal Feud, several of these red boxes were genuinely misplaced, as well as the first time in British history. The then Prime Minister, Stanley Baldwin, argued that now the King should only receive delivered time in the process of his approval. 5. Heads of state and national leaders' red boxes are not exclusively given to kings and queens. Additionally, sensitive documents are given to British government ministers, such as Winston Churchill, for whom the red box was auctioned in 2014 for about £160,000 or $180,000, 25 times the anticipated price. During the Victorian era, a unique correspondence box constructed by Wickwar & Co. That is the piece something like the Spyscape series was utilized to transmit upper classified documents, intended solely for the head of state. Articles that led the nation to conflict, maintained peace, and influenced the history that followed were among its components. The term First Lord of the Treasury, which was the formal term of the Prime Minister prior to 1905, is engraved on the cover of the golden letters. Nowadays, the red box is still used by the British Finance Minister to symbolise the special connection between America and the UK. It is shown every year on Spending Plan Day, and then, on rare instances, red boxes are presented as presents. Past Prime Minister Tony Blair, as well as Boris Johnson, both gave red boxes to retired US President George W. Bush and US State Department Secretary John Kerry, respectively. 6. Invisible messages. 12 authorized red boxes, along with several she reportedly received through her dad, King George VI, are allegedly have belonged to Queen Elizabeth. A message or information was discovered within one during the process of renovation. A spokeswoman for box manufacturers Barrow & Gale informed reporters, "We noticed that one of our artisans had scribbled a hidden meaning to the Queen's father in pencil. It said, 'Praise the Lord and keep everyone safe, Their Royal Highness,' although it was hardly readable. Everybody is really moved when we reported the situation to the Queen's locked room since it was so poignant." 7. Old Stripy. Different colours are utilised despite the fact that red boxes is often associated with the monarchy and national leaders. Black boxes are employed to provide stealth while touring, as well as being handed to administration critics who control how the lawmakers behave. Secret documents are sent to the head of state in a blue box with a red stripe that spy agencies call Old Stripy, owing to the red stripe. Lord Armstrong, a private financial assistant to British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, recalled that she studied Old Stripy first since it contained all the interesting bits inside. In her memoir, Margaret Thatcher, Authority and Passion, retired Justice Minister Jonathan Aitken continued, "Either she or her senior private assistant used to have a password to that." This was due to the fact that Old Stripy frequently carried upper assessments from either the intelligence agencies as well as other extremely classified information that was exclusively meant for the Prime Minister to see. Queen Elizabeth must have been questioned well about GCHQ's attack inside the 1980s, because once she met with the cyber spies at GCHQ, presumably provider of most of her red box information, the Queen responded by expressing her happiness at having less homework to complete at midnight. We appreciate you seeing the video. What subject do you want to learn more about? Please share your opinions with us. We'll provide top-notch films for you. Until later.